You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby.
All right, so we're here today on this wonderful, blessed day on the Whatever by Hectic, the show about whatever, with your host with the most, me, Hectic Desires. I have a beautiful guest here. Um, Go ahead and introduce yourself. You got to take yourself off mute. It always
That's how
happens.
putting it.
Yeah, it always happens. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Shit. Lady O Productions.
All right.
Sometimes also known as the female Hugh Hefner of the industry. And currently,
Okay.
and
Talking
currently,
shit.
apparently, I seem to be devouring muscle goddesses a lot lately.
Yo, okay, so we're gonna dive into that because I've been seeing it. So tell the great
But wait,
people at home.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Who sings that song you were playing? That should be like
you
the intro to like when one's doing like a sex wrestling match and they come in the opponent.
yo, the expressions you were giving while listening to the song, I was like, yeah, she has not. And the song's old. The song's old. I'll tell you what. I'll send you the song, but the song is very old. But yeah,
Wow.
your expression was like.
I heard this song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So tell the people at home a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a producer and occasional talent, and I also do a lot of promotions. And aside for doing things for fetish and the adult industry, I also participate in doing a couple of things for the indie and pro wrestling communities as well.
Yeah, so what got you into the you would dabble say you dabble more into the fetish realm, right?
Correct.
So what got you into the fetish realm of production and stuff of that nature?
Well, originally back in, I would say, 1998,
Yeah.
in 1998, I was doing sessions, but back then sessions were underground. So it's like somebody would pay someone that was part of what we call a wrestling club. And that wrestling club, whoever was running that wrestling club, they would get the girls together and they would give a job to whoever girl they saw fit. And you would wrestle the guy or box the guy or whatever it was that the guy wanted for
Yeah.
about the hour or so. You got paid shit. Now everybody's independent, so they get more money. Um, and that was my first introduction into, I would say, the industry as a whole. Then I started discovering that things were now a little bit more mainstream because I had left for a little bit. And when I came back and I was more on the wrestling end of it, that's when I discovered that things were a little bit more mainstream. They had a website where you can go and see who it is that you want to wrestle with or box with or have a domination session with. Then the pandemic happened and I realized that everything was meshed together. Fetish, wrestling, adult, everything was all mixed together. Everybody was doing everything. Then because this is a revolving door, you did have a lot of people that would start that they were newbies and then they would disappear. And then you have the OGs that no matter what, they're survivors, so they're here. And then you have, like I said, a revolving door. So you have newbies that come in and out of here. They don't do their research. They don't know who's been around. You see them go on Twitter and they're doing their Twitter wars, and you sit back and you're like, do you not know you're speaking to someone that's been here for like 40 plus years? They've been there, done that. You should learn from them. And they mouth off, and it's crazy.
No, I've definitely noticed that. Like for me, I'm in that I would say I'm in that mixed kid realm, right? Because I do both porn and fetish.
And I
So
know you do
I'm
photography, a lot of it too.
right. So I'm in that realm where people on one side be like, you just do a fetish, and then I get on the other side and they be like, you only do porn, and I'm like, nah, I do both of them shits. Like, you know what I mean? Um, Now with you getting more into, because I seen you have some boy girls content on your sites and stuff of that nature. Has that, because you know everyone's big into their brand, has that affected your brand in any way, shape, or form?
I don't think so, because from the very beginning, I didn't want to just have one particular category to be in. I wanted to dabble in a couple of them because you don't really know what your niche is unless you try everything.
Yeah.
And so some people are like, oh, you're just going to produce wrestling. No, it's going to be not only fighting, but I'm going to throw in some BDSM stuff. And because I've always been a sucia, I knew that eventually I was going to go in the direction of adult as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with adult, you can't just in 2 weeks film everything. You can't go from girl to boy or boy
Gang
girl,
bangs,
gang
orgies.
bangs all of a
Yeah,
sudden. You
yeah,
can't do everything in one shot. You got to like ease on into it so that way the fans that are watching your stuff and buying your stuff, they could be like, oh, what's she going to do next? What's the next move? If you
yeah.
do everything within a 2 week span,
You
and you've
burnt
done
out.
everything, that's it. They don't expect anything from you that's new and innovative, so they're going to stop. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
go on to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I did a couple of things where I was behind the camera, but then what I started noticing is that just because somebody is a porn star or they happen to be an escort as well, it doesn't mean they know how to fuck right. And I was seeing this as I'm holding the camera. I'm like, why is this person sucking dick like this? This is not what I paid you to do. Like, do this, do that.
let me say something. When they suck dick, like you see them on other production, you be like, okay, cool. And when they get to your set, you be like, is this your first dick? Like, is this your first time?
Listen, I had somebody. I'm not gonna name names.
Nah, you don't have to.
Not gonna name names. I seen a couple of videos that she had done for a couple of the producers, and I was like, well, okay, maybe those are the angles. Because I know when you're working for bigger companies, it's not 2 hours that you're working, it's not three, it's like 8-10 hour days. and
Right.
and and then what happens is the sex is not fun anymore because you have to stop what you're doing, do this take, do this angle. Whereas when we are mom and pop stores, pretty much
Yeah.
we have 2 hours time, we take a little break, you do it like this, go on, do it like that, I'll come with the camera around this way, and we get the angles we get because we're
And we
doing it
wrap
for
it
the
up,
pop.
put it in a bow, and it's out.
And that's it, and it's out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe she was sucking that way because it was for this company and that company. So I tell her, listen, do it like this. Gets pissed at me, says, well, if you don't think it's doing correctly, then you should do it. I said, bitch, if I sit there and start doing it, you're going to be out of a job. You're going to be out
Yeah.
of a job because,
Yeah.
what I do at home, regardless whether it's with a guy or a girl, that's what I'm going to bring forth if I'm in front of the camera. I'm not going to give you some half-ass sex. If I'm going to suck dick, I'm going to suck it right. If I'm going to eat pussy, I'm going to eat it right. I'm not going to give you half-ass shit. So then once you're done watching it and you start thinking about it, you're like, is that what she does at home? What you
Yeah.
see me do on camera, you better best believe I do that shit even 10 times more behind
Yeah.
closed doors.
Yeah. No.
All of
And
me, I give you.
and that's the crazy part is like I just did a post on my IG a couple days ago, and I was like, who do you think acts the best? Porn stars, fetish, or civvies? For the most part, fetish blew it out the water. In my personal opinion, fetish models are better at acting than porn stars. Like if you give them a scenario, for some reason they're able to tap in and give you exactly what you want. Versus a porn star, you're like, case in point, I had this scene, and the scene called for the girl to be a bitch. I was like, hey, I need you to be bitchy towards this dude. You're not interested in him whatsoever. You're not paying him no attention. Give me that mean girl thing. And this girl was so nice. And I was just like, that's not what I asked for. You know what I mean? It was like, it was just the weirdest shit.
Now you want to laugh, right?
Yeah.
Because of my civvy life, I was a bit of a freak, which I still am. I was able to bring this forth into the industry. Now, as far as fetish acting, I suck. I fucking suck.
Really?
Because let me tell you something, where I'm supposed to be serious, I'm cracking the fuck up. where I'm supposed to be submissive because I'm not submissive in real life, I start cracking up and I start mouthing off. So my BDSM videos become BDSM comedy. Right now, when I'm filming adult, since I don't really have to speak much, I just have to perform. Holy shit, I'm an amazing actress.
Yo, that's crazy. And I think that's what it is though. I think for most porn stars or most people in porn, there's not a whole lot of acting you gotta do, right? You jump on the dick, you do
You
what you
just
need to
do.
do with it, you know what I mean? Versus fetish, most fetish stars could bang out 10 videos in a couple hours
Yes.
because it's just, you know what I mean? So I think they're more accustomed to it. So great insight. Thank you. I never thought about it like that, but
And
I
the other
hate
thing
it.
too, the other thing too is that everybody works differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taught from the very beginning that if you booked a place for 2 hours, 3 hours, you have to first plan out how many clips you're planning on making with the crew that you have for that day, how
Mm-hmm.
many minutes these videos are going to be, if they need time to touch up, regardless of what it is, whether it's fetish or it's adult, snap to it. Don't
Yeah.
sit there bullshitting and chatting to the point where you've been there 3 hours and you only did 2 videos when you could have knocked down 7.
And these girls will draw it out. I've seen where, they be like, how many hours we got? Okay. And by the time you do the first scene, they done took 10 cigarette breaks, drank some coffee, sit here and bullshitted, and then time just, if you're not a efficient producer or person on the set, time will just fly by. And then the girl's like packing up, she's like, oh, it's time to go. And you be like, but we only did, whoop de whoop.
Oh no, I become a dictator at that point. I become a little Napoleon, and not
Yeah,
only that, but I work a lot with Enchantress Sarai.
yeah.
She I have to say she's awesome because she's taught me an awful lot in the
Hmm.
past 3 years, and she helps me a lot with camera. And on those rare occasions where she can't help me with the camera, and I happen to be the one that's going to be in front of the camera, I have Big Al come with me, and Big Al is awesome to work with.
Hmm.
Like, I don't need to tell him what to do with the camera. I just tell him, picture in your mind what you would like to see if you were at home beating your meat. And he captures everything.
100%.
But I am like a tyrant. I am like Napoleon because I tell him this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you got to put on makeup. Go, go, go. What outfit you got? Oh yeah, that one's great. Yeah, that's perfect. You feel comfortable. You feel sexy in that. That's what we're doing. Boom. That's it. And I tried to do it as fast. During Exotic, I only went one day. This is my first time going and checking the place out.
How did you, first of all, how,
It was kind of funny to me because in my mind, I was picturing a place where everybody's doing all sorts of craziness on the floor,
so tame.
which is so, they were so tame. I was expecting to see little old men that look like Mr. Magoo trying to feel up people. I was expecting to see guys with like Hawaiian shirts and gold chains and slick back hair. None of that. And the ratio,
You really brought it back to the 70s and 80s, huh? Like,
I was, that's what I was thinking in my head. And not only that, but I was expecting to see a lot of guys there. And the ratio of men to women that were there was
what
more.
day did you go?
I went on the Saturday.
Oh, because I was about to say, if you went on a Friday, it's
Yeah, then
ladies' night.
it's ladies' night. But no, it was Saturday, and there was more girls walking the floor that were non-industry, some were with their boyfriends and whatnot, and others were
Yeah.
just there. I guess either they were trying to see what was out there in case they wanted a side gig or what have you. But I was like, I was shocked.
No, no, and normally Saturdays is the busiest, and it also depends on what time you go to. Like if you go mid afternoon, normally that's when it's the most packed. But yeah, I opted out of this one. I decided this is the first one that I didn't go to in a couple of years. I'm now getting to the point where I'm like, what's the point to see the same pretentious people, in person that they are online, the same, homosexuals walking the floor. Like I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Well, I did make a lot of, I did do a lot of networking because as you may know, I am Miss Network. I network with everybody because you never
Yeah,
know when you might have to work with somebody in a different realm.
right.
I did notice a lot of the fans that I recognized from seeing at wrestling conventions, which
They
is
were
kind of
there.
funny. Because what's funny to me is while I'm working the booth, because usually for wrestling conventions, I'm the handler. So I'm the one that lines up the people for whoever it is that I'm working with so
Mhm.
that they can do their selfies, they can sign their merch and all that. And there's been a couple people that have come to the booth, the Glow Girls that I've seen that I'm like looking at them, I'm like, this person looks like they could be a socio. I bet you they go on Clips for Sale and buy stuff. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm there like, I bet you they go on many vids. I bet you they go to X vids. And I'm thinking about this as I'm, yeah, here you go, here's your sign. Here, this is the merch you want.
Yeah.
Sure enough, as I'm walking through Exotic, I was like, I know that Sucio. I know that. I've seen that one come to the booth. And I just smile and keep my mouth shut. And I'm like,
Yeah, because it's like it's one of those. Even like I feel, if you see your favorite fan or whatever, and like the proper thing to do is the head nod. Like I see you, and keep it moving. Let's not make this shit awkward. You know, I mean, we know what it is. We know where we're at. Let's not make it awkward. Go about your life. Now, if you want to take a picture or something or in a fine, but let's not make it awkward. You know, like let's keep it moving. Especially the biggest one is AVN. I don't know if you ever went.
I haven't been there yet. I'm
So
dying to go.
so think of this one that you just went to and amping it up like 100 times. It's such a whirlwind. Like you're literally seeing your friends and stuff, but you don't have enough time to sit there and chit chat because everyone. It's like you ever seen like the ants? How the ants be moving and they just that's how it is, right? And sometimes you just know you be like, okay, cool. Hey, I'll catch you later. Maybe we'll see each other at the bar or at one of these after parties and we'll hang out. But it's not a lot of hanging out when you're really out there, really moving, because it's you just got
Yeah,
stuff to do.
because basically you're networking, you know, you're being seen by others trying to see who else you could work with. Some
Yeah,
people that just go to like say hi and then they're working at the hotel room with somebody else or, you know, in a different or in a studio.
yeah,
So I think that's for like all conventions, but it's funny because it's like, you're like, hey, wait, yeah, you were at the
mhm.
booth. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%, hundred
I
percent.
try my best to have my cards ready and just
I don't
have.
even do cards no more. I
Oh, I
stopped doing
do.
cards years
I
ago.
got a fancy little card going and everything.
I will tell you, get the pop card so you can just tap their phones and boom,
Somebody was telling me I
everything's on
should
there.
get stickers because everybody's into stickers now. I was like, stick it on what?
I'm so over the lack of creativity a lot of people in this industry now have. Like if they see one person do it, now everyone has to do the same thing. It's like,
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. That brings me to the whole muscle goddess thing. Because
yeah,
there was a point in time where all of a sudden the muscle goddesses were complaining that not everybody was hiring them. So a lot of them started to do their own content. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean? Muscle worshiping is a fetish, is it not? Like, why aren't they doing that? Why aren't there more people worshiping muscle goddesses or muscle gods? Why
hmm
isn't there more, you know, more adult entertainment that involves them when there's so much you could do with them?
yeah.
And then I noticed that once I started doing certain things, now all of a sudden everybody wants a muscle goddess in their video. Everybody. So I'm like, all right, I brought it back.
No, I definitely had two. I think I had two,
You need
and it
more.
was, huh?
You need more.
I do. They're hard, man. They're hard to get sometimes. I feel like we'll touch more on the talent, getting talents and all that. But I just feel like even now, it's harder now for productions or to get a good Rolodex of models that's going to actually show up, do what you need them to do, and all that. I think with the whole independence and all that, like I get it, but it's crazy because the same ones that's calling or saying I'm independent are the same ones like, why no one's booking me? And you're like, well, if you check your DMs or you check your emails, you can see that I emailed you for a paid gig or whatever the case may be. You just choosing not to be up on your business, you know?
Well, that's the other thing too. And then there's the whole thing with the pricing. What's the pricing percentage? Isn't the
Hold on, we
pricing
can't go
that's
too
per
deep too
go?
quick. We can't go too deep too quickly. Oh my, yo, you are hitting all the points that I knew we were going to hit. Crazy. But
And also,
with that, we're gonna have to take a break so we can come back and hit some of these topics so we can go ahead and move. Yeah.
oh, because some of these people, they're like, I'm like, but you just started yesterday. You want what? $600?
I can't even listen. We're going to take a little break. This is Whatever by Hektek. I got the lovely Lady O on here. She's talking her shit. You see, she has no filter. We're going to get right back to you after hitting some of these songs. Oh my God, this is going to be an epic episode. I already know it. All right, so we're back with Whatever by Hektek, the show about whatever, where we're just up here talking shit and doing our thing. I have the sexy Lady O over here with her thing muted, of course. You know, they love to stay muted. So she brought up a really, 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 really great topic before we're getting off pricing. Yo, I had a girl or woman, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. So I had a talent, no social media presence, never shot a scene, don't know what TTS is, none of this shit. So for one of my series, is predominantly a hand job, blowjob situation. So I asked her how much her blowjob rate was. She told me, what she told me, 1,200. At 1,200.
Is she doing like special stunts, like on a weaving basket, like she's from Thailand or something as she's doing this?
Yo, 1,200. Both of my balls better collapse into themselves and come out my urethra.
I could understand if she was someone that's an OG, like Vanessa Del Rio
Mm.
or Allura Jensen, and they were
Mm.
to tell you for one blowjob, 1,200. Do it, do it.
Yeah.
But not someone that's like some OnlyFans talent that doesn't have any kind of presence whatsoever.
Yeah. And then they get mad at you, right? They get mad at you when you be like, I respectfully decline. Oh, you broke. No. I'm just not dumb.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give you two funny scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, a guy goes into my DMs, and it was during one of the times where I had promo. I think it was like the first time that I shot girl with one of the muscle goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees it, goes into my DMs, and he's like, I look good on camera. I said, that's great. What else do you have to offer? He was like, oh, I'm male talent. I would like to shoot with you. I said, okay, well, who have you worked with? Do you have a clip store? And he's like, what's a clip store? So then I'm like, oh, I quickly click on his profile. I see that he hardly had any followers, which doesn't really mean anything because the person could have just gotten their Twitter account, or they could have had one that had like 1 million or 1 zillion followers and it got shut down. So I don't judge based on that. But I see that all he had was an OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to him, this is a clip store, and I gave him the listing of my clips, of all the clip stores I have, the thing that I do every so often as the advertising. So he says to me, are those random clip stores or those yours? I said, if you had clicked on them, you would know the answer. And that was the end of that conversation. Then I had another one.
Yeah.
And this particular talent she's, she does have a fan base. She does more than OnlyFans. She has a couple clip stores, but she's not really the kind of talent that I've been working with. And I'm open to working with everybody. I don't have a particular. Granted, right now I'm kind of concentrating on just doing girl clips with the muscle girls, because you typically see either a guy with a muscle girl, you typically see another muscle girl with a muscle girl, you see a slender girl with a muscle girl. You don't see some fat fit chick like me with a muscle girl.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's something different.
That's why I wanted to do it, because it'd
Plus,
be a contrast.
yeah, plus I'm the one dominating them. They're not dominating me unless they're wearing a strap on. So it's something that's not typically seen. So it's new, it's creative, innovative, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't a muscle girl. Like I said, I'm open to working with everyone. But I told her, listen, right now, as far as adult, this is what I'm shooting. And I'm mostly doing trade, trade for trade right now. As far as fetish, I tend to go more towards female fighting videos. Do you know how to wrestle? No. Do you know how to foxy box? No. Okay. Would you be okay into doing bondage and getting tied up? Well, but I really just do adult. Okay, once again, right now I'm only really shooting girl with muscle goddesses. So she goes, well, I don't really do trade. My rate is such and such. And she gives me her rate. And she tells me 600 for girl scene. And I said to her, once again, you're not a muscle goddess. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if you were to sit on top of me, I would get crushed. No matter how much chest press I do, no matter how much bicep exercises I do, there was no way I was going to be able to hold her on top of me.
Yeah.
No offense, she's a cutie, no offense, but that's not, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
And she didn't contact me again, but and I get it. If she wanted to do trade, I would have gone for it, because it would have been something different that I would have been shooting. So the fans would have been like, oh, a girl that's not a muscle girl.
Right.
But not the whole thing of, well, I want to get, well, no. Why am I going to pay you that amount when you don't fit the profile of what I'm selling right now?
Have you seen where talent is reaching out to you and they're trying to force you to pay, not only pay them,
But to hire them?
pay them for what they want to do?
I've had that.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
I've had that happen. But here's the thing, when that has happened, I've been able to pretty much tell them, well, this is what I shoot. If you want to shoot what you want to shoot, we can do trade.
We
I'll
could
say,
do 100%.
and then they'll be like, okay. Sometimes you take, because this is the thing. If you hire somebody and you're paying them good money for what you shoot, which is not what they typically do, you run into that 50% chance that the video is going to come out shit. It's not going to sell. So therefore, whatever money you spent, you're not going to get back. Whereas if you're doing trade, then you have a chance of both of you making money, because you both have a different audience that you're catering to. So whoever's fans of that person and they go to their store, they'll buy it from them. Whoever's fans of your store and they'll go to your store, they'll buy it from you.
Right.
So you have the chance of making money. Both of you do. Whereas if you're just paying that one person and that person is a foot model, all they've ever shot is foot, but you want them to do foxy boxing and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah. And I even, I know it's different scopes, and because of our gender, because of they feel. I'll be candid. Us males are terrified right now because anything we say or anything we do can lead someone to some misunderstanding to where they get pissed off, and now we having to fight for our lives over simple shit.
Well, yes. I'll openly say, as a female producer and talent, that you guys do have the shit end of the stick. Many a times, 95, well, no, I won't say 95, 75% of the time, when you see a beef on Twitter and the girl says, so-and-so did this to me and blah, 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 you have to take a deep breath. Sometimes the allegations are 100% true. Other times, it's a lover's quarrel and things didn't go right. They didn't end things right. And the fighting starts. But guess what? Males aren't the only ones that can fall to that bullshit. Believe it or not. I had 2 chicks that tried that shit with me. And I was like, do you want me to show people your text messages with me? I'll put them on display. I have nothing to hide.
Right.
And it's like, and then I have to drop the line. Why would I do those things to you? Have you seen all the ladies I work with? I have one hell of a picking. Why would I pick you? If I'm going to pick somebody to do dirty deeds with on and off camera, I got quite the choice when it comes to that. Why am I going to pick some B movie, fetish star that doesn't fit the bill?
No, 100%. And so when it goes back to the pricing, pre-COVID, everyone knew what they could charge for certain things. They knew they couldn't, if you were in this tier and it was a blowjob, you could only charge this. If you were in this tier, you could only charge this. If you were in, so on and so forth. Now, people are just throwing fucking random shit and seeing what sticks. And I also am hearing a lot of this lately. Pay trade. Not I'm gonna pay you for a scene and then we're gonna do another trade scene that both of us keep. No. I'm paying you for one scene and I'm giving you that scene. When they try that with me, I'm like, nah. I did it with one person. And I did it with one person because I really, really wanted this person on, but I did give them a stipulation. You cannot drop this till I drop mine. Right? She just gave me a lower rate, cool. But I really, really, really wanted her on my platform. Right? So I did do that, but that was like the exception to the situation. I've never done that shit ever again. Now I will pay you for a scene, and then we could do an additional trade scene, but I'm not giving you what I paid for.
Well, here's the thing with that. I understand, pre-COVID, there's certain prices depending on the level that you're at. COVID fucked everybody up. Everybody started doing everything. We're in a recession right now, though nobody wants to talk about it, but we ain't getting into politics and bullshit here. But the thing is, yes, I understand everything's going up, so we all need to raise our prices. But why are you fucking the fucking producers that way? Do it to your bookings and your sessions, as I do.
Listen,
somebody comes to me for a particular session, that's when I fucking fuck with their head, especially if it's something I don't want to do, and I give them an outlandish price. Same thing for a custom. If you come to me with some bullshit ass custom, I sit there with the models and we'll talk and be like, what kind of bullshit price you want to give this motherfucker? Do you really want to do this? I don't want to do this. Do you want to do it?
Right.
And we'll give the person an outlandish price.
If they say yes,
then we got to do it. But if they say no, be like, yo, that's the price. That's our price.
Right.
So I understand maybe raising it $50 more, like instead of like 150, maybe make it 200, maybe make it 225, 250 within reason, and not per clip. Make it by the hour. However, if it's adult, then the model has the right, I think, at that point, because it does take a lot out of someone to be using their body for certain things, then then you should make it per scene. But if it's fetish and all you're really doing is kind of like play fighting for a little bit for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe you're getting tied up a little bit, not really getting spanked that hard, then doing by hour, I think, is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But per clip, it depends who it is.
Right.
It depends who it is.
And I understand trust me, I knew there was a recession when my rent and shit started going up, but my pay ain't. I knew that I was in
And
for
our
it,
pay
right?
stays the same in our regular jobs. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Now, trade. I like the concept of trade and share, okay, where you both have the same clip. Now, I in particular, I don't care if the person puts theirs out right away because it's
Me
very
either.
rare that I shoot something and put that out that very same moment.
Yeah.
I have stuff that I've been editing since October still. A couple days ago, I put like a little BTS of something that I shot with Veronica Vixen. And hold on, let me clarify because there's two Veronica Vixens. Why can't people come up with names that not everybody's sharing? There's the Veronica Vixen with the dark hair that's on the West Coast, and then there's my Veronica that's in Maryland. You know, so I have to clarify. I was working with the one in Maryland. She's a lot
Yeah.
of fun to work with too, by the way. So I put that BDS out. Ask me if I'm still done editing that clip that I put the BDS out for. No, I'm still editing. I'm still editing. I haven't even gotten to anything else yet. But the thing is, trade where you share the clip. I don't mind if the person, does it. There's been cases where I'll edit the clip for the both of us. But I kind of like the idea of them editing their way and I edit my way. You put it out whenever, because once again, your fans are not the very same fans I have. Mm-hmm. So they'll go to your store for that. They'll go to my store for whatever. You can give it whatever title. I also like the concept of trade for trade, where I'll shoot with you stuff that's just for me. You'll shoot stuff that's just for you, and everybody's happy.
Right.
Now, trade and paid for trade. I'll pay you for one clip if that's what you want. But guess what? That clip that I paid you for, you're not getting it. Everything else that we did that was trade, you'll get. But the clip that I had to give you money for,
right.
I did have one person that I was helping out a long time ago that needed to build their store. And though I had paid them for the 4 clips that we did, because I was helping them build their store, I did put the clips that we shot, even though I paid them for it, I did put it in their store, but only because I was helping them out. And that was it.
How did that pan out for you?
The clips, believe it or not, they sell in my store more than they do in this person's store, because this person is no longer in the industry to begin with. So if somebody goes to their store, the first thing they're going to see is my logo on their clip, which is going to make them go searching through my store.
Right.
So that's
and I think that's the biggest part too about these rates. Some people's rates, 100% valid. I'd be like, like you said, Vanessa Del Rio, if she came and said 1,200, I was like, give me a couple months. I'll be back. You know what I mean? I'm not, she's been one of my teenage from way back when, right? So I get it. But the problem is you pay these girls these high influx rates. Mind you, they don't have a clip store, they don't have a brand, they don't have a portfolio, they don't have marketability, they don't have any of this. And then they leave the industry. I'm not getting that shit back.
No. And the other thing too is, what is going on with people that they sign a release? They apparently don't know how to read.
And try to get it taken down.
And then they tell you that no, you signed a release. A release means that I have the legal right to put this out there.
Yeah.
If you did not want your face to be in public doing whatever naughty deeds you were doing, then you should have thought about that ahead of time.
100%. I got it now in my model release. If you want said video or whatever picture down, this is how much you have to pay me per clip, plus all the expenses that I divvied out that day for that, whether it's location, your price, all that, plus this, because I'm not playing those games.
Yeah, it's just insanity to me. And the other thing too that I've learned too is every day there's a beef on Twitter. And even though I'm mouthy and you know, I'm opinionated, I've learned that sometimes it's best to not even say anything because people are just so disrespectful. And I'll put this out here just so people can know. May not look my age, and I'm not wearing any makeup today. I was born in 1973. I will turn 50 December 31st of this year. And I sure as hell do not tolerate disrespect in person or online. So when I have a little 20-year-old going at the mouth trying to talk shit, Mamita, you better best believe that I'm old school. I will show up at your house and smack you and then walk away. And then walk away. And people don't get that. They'll say something to you, act all stupid, act all wild, and not realize that, you know, it doesn't take me much to find out where you are located and wait for you and slap you.
I think the thing is they believe this protects them.
And it doesn't.
And I've seen people I've had beef with in public, and I'm like, I want to see if you're gonna give me the same energy. Cause I stand on it. If I
Oh
don't fuck with someone, I
you
could
know
be in the same room. I filmed people that I don't fuck with and didn't say shit to them the whole goddamn time. They're asking me for guidance, and I'm looking at them like, why are you talking to me?
no. The funny thing is, right? People will say mad shit behind your back or on social media. Then you're at an event, they see you.
Hey,
And the thing is, as much as I try to be professional, what I'm thinking up here shows in my face. No matter
me
how
too.
much I try to hide it, I could be smiling, but you could read my eyes that I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But you got to do, you know, the correct thing, the professional thing, and
Right.
you can't turn around and be like, bitch, meet me outside in the parking lot. You
You
can't do
remember
that.
6 months ago you were talking all this cash shit? Let's go handle this right now.
But I figured out what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes there's people that they've been in this industry for 10 plus years. Because I've noticed that this is more with the people that have been in between, I would say, 2 years to 10 years. Never the people that have been here past that. The people that have been here past that, if they see a newcomer or somebody doing something different, they'll become friendly with you and they'll guide you. Some of them will actually guide you. But then again, maybe it's different for you because you're a guy and I'm a girl. Okay. But the people that have been here for, let's say, 2 years or 10, usually, you know, around that time span, and they've been trying and trying to change shit up, and they see they're still in the same spot that they were 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And then they see somebody new coming in that's causing a stir, someone that's networking with everybody and is knowing all these people that they, in the 10 years that they've been here, they have not even been able to get a hello from.
Yeah.
They start feeling salty. They start feeling a certain kind of way. So instead of them using this up here and approaching you and trying to befriend you so that you can help them out, they decide to come at you and try to stir the pot, try to talk shit, try to talk trash, try to push your buttons. When in fact, they should use that energy and apply it to their brand so that they could then change up whatever it is that's not working for them.
Yeah, no, I feel that 100 because I have even the civilians that's trying to get into this industry. I'll see them make little posts, and I'll be like, "Hey, well, if you want my honest opinion, you trying to sell a 2 minute video for $50? That's probably why no one's really buying your shit. You
Yeah.
know, or you doing this, or instead of using your old iPhone XR, get you a newer iPhone with a better camera. Try to get a Pro.
Or get
Try
a
to do
real
this.
video camera.
Try to do or hire someone. Or hey, even sometimes I say, hey, if you shoot a scene for me, I'll film some shit for you. You know what I mean? Whatever. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Woo. And I'm like, okay, my name's already good. I'm already good. You need help, not me.
And that's the wild part about it. Then there's the other perspective, somebody that they call themselves a producer, or they call themselves, a content creator, and the person doesn't do enough promotion. They're really not putting anything in their store. Then they see you promoting on a daily basis everything, not just your work, but somebody else's. Oh, you do too much advertising. Yeah, but that's working for me.
Yeah.
What's working for you? Oh, that's right. You haven't put anything out in like 10 years. Okay.
Yeah. No, I remember even last year, my name was literally on everybody's shit. Whether I filmed for them, did work with them or something. And did it do anything? This industry is so finicky, I can't really say one way or another. However, when I was doing the 100 scenes for the year, so many people were in my DMs like, "Oh my God, you're an inspiration." One girl told me, "Because you're doing this 100 scenes a year, I decided to do 30 scenes for 30 days. Like drop a scene for 30 days." And I was like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad something that I just thought up of for the whim to do has inspired other people to really get in their bags. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people. I'll set the table. I'll put your plates out. I'll even put the food on there for you. You see what I'm saying? I want everyone to eat. However, I also had to learn some people aren't meant to eat off the plate that you have prepared.
Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm all about networking. And if I'm talking to you, even if we haven't worked together, but we have a rapport, we've been talking together, and you say to me, listen, I really want to work with this person. I seen you work with them, because you and I have been friendly and you've shown me that you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will approach the person that I know and be like, look, I've been talking to so-and-so, they want to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And I'll make that connection for them. I don't ask anything in return. I don't ask for no fucking finder's fee, because I'm doing what I like to do. And I did it for two people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's people that they're not like that. They're the
Mm-mm.
complete opposite. Or there's people that they just get close to you so they can get whatever they can get from you. And then
And
as
then
soon as
be
they
out.
got that, they be out. And then instead of saying thank you, a thank you is all I need. That's all.
I'll
You
even
know?
take a head nod.
Yeah. I've seen motherfuckers that I've helped them all do a whole bunch of shit. Once they got to a certain point, then they turn around with some bullshit. And I've been like, you know what? That's cool, because you know what? You're only gonna go so far, and it's all on you. Because if you
tell
did
me,
it
tell
to
me
me,
how,
you do it to somebody else.
tell me have this not pissed you off. You've helped guide someone. You help mold them. You help give them ideas. You put the little, extra battery in their pack and all that. Just for them to go on Twitter and thank and appreciate some unrelated motherfucker from just because they got clout or just because they got a huge following or something, and you're like, well, shit. Well, at least you could have tagged me in the same post as them, so we could have both got some. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you beat. I had someone do that several years back and use the picture that I took of them, and didn't even give me credit for the fact that I took the picture.
I
And
have
they were selling that very same picture as an 8x10 at Exotica.
I've had that happen, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing photography a lot. This past year and the year before, I was like, hey, this picture, just pick what you want me to edit. I'll edit them, but I want to submit these to magazines, which is going to help you out, help me out, woo de woo. They end up using the picture as not only their avatar, but also for their touring promo and all this other stuff. So now you know how magazines work. They want unreleased shit. Now I can't use that.
Many moons ago, when I used to do photography, there was a singer from Martinique. She was a singer and a dancer that I took a picture of. She used the picture for her portfolio. Then a couple years passed, and there was a magazine that had come out from her country with the picture that I took of her. And the photographer they named was somebody else. And when I brought it to her attention, she apologized. She was like, no, I'm sorry. That was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. What's done is done.
100%.
What's done is done. There's nothing you could do about that. You know?
Because that could have been a magazine that could have really put you on a map.
Yeah. And people could have come to me for photography and stuff. And I was like, damn, like.
Oh, even videos. Like I'll see people, I know how I shoot, right? Every photographer, videographer knows how they shoot. It's almost like a Van Gogh painting or a Picasso painting. They by the brush strokes, you know. I seen someone promoting some scenes that I shot for them. They shot it out, makeup artist, the outfit, the male star, the location, the event, the nail tech, the catering service. But guess who they didn't shout out? The person who shot the fucking scene.
I got one even better for you. There was a model that I used to be really cool with, right? When I was going to hire her for certain things, I would go out of my way and I would pick her up from where she lived. I'm going to tell you right now, I live in Long Island, which is the butt fuck place of the world here in New York, especially if everybody else is in the 5 boroughs, which is New York City. I'm way out in the sticks. I'm in the sticks. By the way, there's a picture I took today outside the laundromat, which I didn't realize had the dock there with the boats, which I'm going to send to you. It came out pretty good. It was with the phone. So needless to say, I live in the sticks. It takes me sometimes 2 hours to get into the city. And by the city, I mean Manhattan. Okay. So I would go out of my way and I would pick her up and I would drop her off, you know, blah, 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 blah. So that way she wouldn't be late because I choose random places to shoot. I've held camera on several occasions because if I booked a place for 2 hours, 4 hours, and I shot all my stuff within the hour or 2 hours, I would tell the models that I work with, hey, you guys, if you guys want to shoot something or you got customs for each other, use the space. Let's use it because we have it for 4 hours. All right. Many occasions she took advantage of that. Okay, which is fine because I offered that. I held camera several occasions. There was one time, okay, where the 2 friends that I have that typically hold camera for me could not because they were unavailable. And using a tripod in this situation was not going to be a good situation. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity to shoot with this particular person. Because when this person comes to New York, they usually only do bookings. They don't have any time to shoot anymore with anybody. And they were going to give me that 1-2 hour time span that they were willing to shoot with me. And I was like over the moon about it. I approached this model that lives in the city that, you know, because I always took her everywhere and everything. She turns around and tells me that in order for her to shoot for me, that I needed to pay her $125. And I had to pay her transportation. I said, first of all, as far as transportation, I've always given you the ride. $125 to hold camera for me and I'm like, no. If anything, I'll give you $50. But in my mind, I'm thinking, yo, I've held camera for you and I never charged you. I've held camera for many people and I've never charged them. We either trade a clip or we just say, hey, whatever, and that's it. No, homegirl wanted to charge me $125. I said, you know, no worries, goodbye, whatever. No hard feelings. I go on Twitter and she writes a whole fucking thing, doesn't name me, but writes a whole thing that I knew was based on me. And I'm thinking, excuse me, ma'am, you're writing a complaint about your price is your price. Yeah, your price is your price for your session. Your price is your price for your shoot. But guess what? You're asking me to pay you what you would have gotten paid if you had been in front of the camera, but you weren't going to be in front of the camera. You were going to be holding camera for me like I've held for you. I decided at that point that I wasn't going to hire this particular model, even though she's a tremendous talent. She is amazing at what she does. And I'll say that again and again. She is amazing at what she does. But will she ever be hired by me again going forward? No. The only way I would hire her is if somebody comes to me and says that they need a custom with this model in it. That's the only time. Well, I'll suck it up. I'll be a professional and tell the person, hey, this person wants you for this custom. How much do you want to charge? That is it. But me looking at a listing. Oh, I want to shoot this and this and hire that person. Okay. But now, this is why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
This 2 days ago on my time feed pops up a video that sold in her store because, we still follow each other. It was a video that I held camera for her for. And I'm here laughing because I was like, I have this much of an inkling to write a comment that says, yo, 125, and just put 125. And for her to respond, what 125? What you
Yeah, you
owe
owe
me?
me. Yeah. Fact.
You
But making money off of this. Where my money at?
I was like, wow, man.
No, I had girls try to charge me their rates. And I'm like, cool. But then turn around and be like, oh, but you're a phenomenal photographer. We could do photography for trade. So you want me to pay you for the scene, but you want me to do trade with you for the photos. I'm good.
I could understand if the person said to you, listen, I know you take awesome pictures. And we got to shoot the scene. How about we trade the pictures and the film, and you don't got to pay me nothing since you're doing the pictures.
They don't think like that.
They don't think about the fact that there's a win-win situation. You don't need to get paid for that video if you possess that video too, because guess what? We will both make money off the video.
They don't think like that.
They have no business sense. Some of these people out, and some of the male talent too, they have no business sense.
Yeah.
Which is like, here's another thing, and this doesn't really affect your realm so much. The session wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When somebody wants to session with you, you tell them the price of the particular session, and then you ask them for a deposit.
Yeah.
If you do not give me that deposit, the day that you want to session in time, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Plus whatever place I need to book in advance so that we could have that session, bye-bye too, because you didn't send the deposit. Now, if you send the deposit and we have to go and we have the appointment for a particular day, and you tell me that you can't make the appointment and you want to reschedule, okay, we reschedule. I'll give you 3 chances to reschedule. But now if you tell me that you can't make any rescheduling, you can't make the appointment, I'm sorry, I can't session, no worries, because guess what?
That deposit's mine.
Deposit because, you've wasted my time. However, if I am the one that comes to you and says, yo, Hector, I can't session with you and I can't reschedule, then it's my right and it's my responsibility as a business person to then refund your deposit back because it's on me. However, in the session world now, there's been instances now where some of the girls are keeping the deposit when they're the ones that canceled on the guys. So the guys are getting pissed off. They're getting angry. And they're posting on social media. They're going to the particular sites that are owned by the people that are promoting these people, these particular session people, and everybody's getting mad. I had to point out to a couple of people, there's a difference between being a business woman and being
a scam artist.
All right. Keeping a deposit when you're the one that's canceling on the client, that's being a thief.
Yeah, 100%.
Being a business woman means, okay, I'm sorry, sir. I can't session with you. I can't do the booking with you. Here's your deposit back. So the fact that I had to point this out to people that didn't understand this concept makes me wonder, how do people run a business when they don't understand the concepts of business?
Well, and that's what's really, because we have such an influx of people that don't want any guidance, don't want no one to tell them how to run their business. That's why the rates are just all over the place. That's why certain things are happening. And tell me if I'm wrong. If this was male creators or male session workers doing this same particular thing, would they be able to leave unscathed?
No. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way for you guys. You would not.
Yeah. So
They
it's
would put
almost
you on
like
they would blacklist you in a heartbeat.
put our heads on a pike and tell us how big of a shitbag we are and all this and all that. But why is it? And I asked one of my good friends too. She has a huge following. And we were talking about the same thing, the hypocrisy between the male and the female gender in this industry. And I was like, well, clearly you're mad about the same shit we're mad about. Why don't you speak about it more often? And she's like, me with my little bit of followers or my followers, compared to someone who has 1 million followers, who you think they're going to listen to more?
The person with the 1 million followers.
Unfortunately. And there's too many people with these large following, numbers. And I say that loosely with quotations because they're buying the shits. We know
Oh
they're
yeah, you
buying the
can you
shits.
can you can buy the followers. Oh, most certainly you can.
Telling these girls fucked up shit to do on a regular basis, and no
Listen,
one's there to check them.
listen. Sometimes even the way look, I understand it from both. Hold on a second. By the way, you might see random cats. You might see a random creature that I created. You might
Okay,
see a random white guy in the background. Just just
gotcha, gotcha.
giving you a warning. Um, just the other day. Well, I wouldn't say the other day. It was maybe like three months ago. I understand that sometimes fans will say the most. Sometimes they're trying to compliment the talent, whether it be a male or female, or even the producer or the photographer. But there's a language barrier because not everybody's from the United States of America. And even people in our lovely United States of America don't know how to speak properly or how to say
Communicate.
what they need to say. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of times talent will get pissed off or a producer will get pissed off and they'll go off on the person when the person's just trying to pay them a compliment, but they don't understand. Maybe Bobby from India, even though he's saying nice tits, he's trying to compliment on the fact that you have beautiful bosom, but he doesn't know how to say it properly. So it comes off as he's a disgusting, filthy human being because he's just saying nice tits,
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, there's a fan that the poor guy, he just got banned off of Twitter. Okay. And the guy always retweets for everybody. He'll buy a video and he'll give you a play-by-play of the video. He'll even take some pretty cool screenshots of the video
Mm-hmm.
so that other people that see the video will say, hey, this video is cool. Let me get it too. So he had made a comment about how I and two newcomers had been interviewed by a particular guy on a podcast that the guy has that has to do with female fighting. He also made a comment about how Tommy Bell, who has been drawing everyone from all the whole industry, how he had drawn all of us and other people, blah 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 blah. The way that he worded it, if you don't know him, you don't understand that he meant that it's so cool that all of us have all this in common. This particular chick, which I'm going to refer to as Porcelain Face, okay, sees it, she misreads it, misunderstands it, and then all of a sudden she starts coming after me. Oh, this is bad for business. And I paused her. I said, first of all, such and such is the person that wrote that comment. Second of all, he didn't say anything bad. All he mentioned was that all of us have been interviewed by such and such and drawn by such and such.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what the problem is. I said, you need to learn how to speak properly to the fans because it brings more fans your way. Next thing I know, they're going off on me, saying a whole bunch of shit to the point where I told you, I don't argue with people anymore, especially when I realize that their level of moron is this high.
Yeah.
So I pretty much told her, first of all, check your manners, do your research before you go off on somebody. I'm old enough to be your mom. And that's all I'm going to tell you. And with your 55 followers that you got, I understand that you're trying to get traffic, but you ain't going to get it from me. Because that's another technique I see when people want to fight.
Yeah.
You want to bring traffic. So I left it at that. I finished the comment. Next thing I know, it's the next day, and this chick has had her whole page trying to trash me, saying, "Oh, she wants to fight me," and I'm thinking, little girl, you're a tiny little stick. If I was to hit you the way that I've trained to hit someone in boxing, you would need a body bag. I don't like to hit women for that particular reason.
Yeah.
Especially in boxing. So I'm like, wow, check yourself, girl, check yourself. And I didn't respond back. I just left it at that. The chick hasn't said anything else because I guess by now she figured out that, A, I'm Miss Network. B, I could have helped you get more than 55 followers, but now go fuck yourself.
I try not to give people free press. I've had my run-ins with people. I could have trashed models, productions, this, that. And I just be like, nah, because if I tag them, I'm giving them more of a light than needed.
And then people that see the drama will go to your page, go to their page, follow both of us, and be like, hey,
oh, I do it all the time. When there's a Twitter beef, I'm like this.
I don't even bother getting involved anymore.
I don't get involved. I just read the shit.
Because every 2 weeks or so, it's the same fucking bullshit. And it's like, if it's not the pricing, it's somebody didn't explain thoroughly what their boundaries were, what was consensual, what wasn't, or you want to bring up videos from like 10 years ago
and say this person's racist or whatever.
And try to be the fucking video police.
Yeah.
Or they try to bring up politics. Listen, politics doesn't matter who you vote for. At the end of the day, Democrats, Republicans, they all fucking give you nothing. Shit. That's what they give us. They give us shit. Religion, there is one God. We can worship him many ways. If your God is in the temple of penis, then by all means, worship that penis. Okay? If your God is a cat and you want to worship the hairy cat, go ahead, worship the hairy cat. I'm not going to judge you for what religion you are. Just don't try to push your shit on me and tell me that I'm a sinner and I need to repent.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you no. Sorry. I like being a sinner. Race. That one cracks me the fuck up. Newsflash. No one has been 100% anything
in millennia
time.
Yeah.
Okay? For a very long time. And usually 95% of these people you see online pushing that debate don't even know what the fuck they are, what they're made of, what their history is, what their DNA is. And I sit back and I laugh.
And it's always the young white girl.
Yes, but I've also seen this from people that were mixed. I've seen it from people that are black. I've seen it from Asians, and I'm like, and what I love is the line when they don't know what the fuck I am, and they're like, "Cause you white?" No, my father was white, my grandmother was white, my mother was Cuban, and in case you haven't seen the pictures, my mother was like a Halle Berry type, And they're like, "Oh, well," and then you got to sit there and be like, "Are my nipples pink? No. Is my pink? No. Is my asshole?"
So we're back. Another segment of whatever by Hektek. This is a good one. It's rare that I think it's because, especially when we start to talk about the things that's going on in the industry, it's almost like females don't want to say what females do to contribute to the cesspool that is now the industry. It's almost like it's and tell me if I'm wrong, it seemed like there's a systematic attack against men on all levels, but women are angels.
It's like I said this on another podcast. Yes, there are certain times that a male producer or talent or photographer will say something, in a joking manner, because let's face it, we are in the industry of making fantasies a reality. So it kind of blurs the lines in being politically correct, because when is a joke that for somebody that's vanilla, woo, and someone that's like us, different.
I'm gonna tell you honestly, me joking my vanilla, we be saying some off the wall shit
The same kind
way
of
more than
crazy
in the
shit.
industry.
Yeah, the crazy shit you see me saying, I say that to my vanilla friends too. They
Yeah,
already know what to expect from me.
yeah,
Okay. But there's certain things that if a male talent says to you and you happen to be one of these people that you just don't understand that the person is joking, they're just trying to be a little flirty, but at the same time joking, and you take offense to it, it causes a problem. Now, a woman can come, a woman talent, a woman producer, a woman photographer could make that very same comment to you. And then the line is like, well, wait, are they being unprofessional? Are they being creepy? Some people will be like the very same person that said the guy said that I looked beautiful in this dress and he was a creepy. Will be the same person that said, oh, Sally said I look pretty in this dress. I kind of liked it. She said that to me.
100%.
But it was the same thing that the guy said to you.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it was his tone. It was his tone. You didn't know what his tone was.
listen, I look at it this way. Okay, we're in the business once again of making fantasies become a reality, right? So therefore, with that being said, politics, religion, race, and your personal opinions on it should not be blasted to everyone. You shouldn't come on my set, with your bullshit. Once I turn that fucking button on, I don't give a fuck what you do at home. You're here to do what I need you to do. Same thing if I'm promoting you. But the fact that everybody wants to bring that shit, and then here comes the PC stuff, politically correct. Why can't I tell you you look beautiful in that dress? Why can't he tell you that? We're complimenting you. We're not telling you take the dress off and get on the bed, unless that's what the scene requires.
Yeah.
Also, oh, so-and-so propositioned me. No, so-and-so just asked you if you wanted to go to dinner. He didn't say go to dinner and let's bump.
Yeah.
Once again, we're all adults. And we have, the right to say no if you get propositioned. Or you can say yes. Now, do I think that if a guy propositions a girl, it might be a little bit harder for him than if a girl propositions a girl? Yes. Because I've seen that happen, where it's like the same girl that said yes to the girl that propositioned her is making a big deal that a guy kind of, hey, if you ever want to, hook up, off camera. Oh, how dare you? He's disgusting.
Right.
But you just had his dick in your mouth. Hello. Hello.
And I can tell you in my field and my long tenure in this industry, I've had more women where I'm like, cut. Oh, you're still here. You know what I mean? Versus the other way around. I had some good friends I've known for years. Cut. Oh, let me go ahead and pack up. They'd be like, Tech, you don't have to leave. No, I gotta go. I got other stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like, and you're right. Have lines been blurred? Have I had models stay over the night? Yeah, they'd be like, "Hey, can I stay?" I'm like, "Okay." You know what I mean? It happens. Like you said, we're human and we're
Human.
adults.
And just because somebody happens to share a bed with you, because you're both staying in the very same hotel room, or it's in your Airbnb, it doesn't necessarily mean that because you shared a bed together or took a shower together that you had sex. You could just be two friends taking a shower together. You could be two friends just taking a nap together. Doesn't mean that you had sex.
I've had some really popular women butt ass naked in my bed, to the fact that they wake up and they like, you made me feel some way. I'm like, why? They were like, because you ain't touched me. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that's what we were on. I just thought you were spending the night. Like, I got a comfy bed. I don't know. it's hard for us males to really read these cues because sometimes we'd be like, oh, are they into me? And then you would react on it, and then they'd be like, you're a creep, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucked. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you want to laugh, okay? Because I am bisexual, okay? When a guy propositions me, like, or flirts with me, I know right away what he wants. It isn't until the girl's like on top of me that I realize, oh, you want to do things off camera. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't
Yes.
realize.
So you know what I'm talking about. Like they reach in and grab your dick. You'd be like, there's no camera here. And they'd be like, I know. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
I'm not going to say no.
Yeah. No, but women are fucking hard to read, especially in this industry, because you have them saying, just because I'm in sex work don't mean I. And you'd be like, true. I get that.
And also, just because you're in sex work doesn't mean you know how to do shit right either.
I'm telling you, fetish models been my go-to lately. I've been getting way better product out of fetish models than porn stars. Cause like I said, they know how to fuck, but I need you to tease. I need you to bring passion. I need you to, bring that ambiance of sensuality. And when for dry bone, most porn stars be like, so what am I supposed to do? I'm like, yeah, you're just supposed to
Listen,
dry hump me.
if
They be
you
like I did in high school?
if you
Yes.
want to shoot if you want to shoot something where it first starts off where it's very sensual and then it turns into animalistic sexual behavior, there's two muscle goddesses that I recommend that you hire.
Who?
Two: Brooke Diesel and Echo Bell.
I already shot with Echo.
Because
Yeah, I shot with Echo.
Echo, if you ain't prepared, you're gonna drown.
I've had Echo a couple times. Yeah, so and I mean, and it's like it's hard to find, and because that's something else that I noticed about your content. You reuse a lot of the same talent.
I do. When I can, I do. Because a lot of times they're accessible. They might be in the same place. They
Yeah,
might live nearby, or a lot of times they're traveling into New York and they'll tell me, "Hey, I'm going to be here. Do you want to shoot something?" And I'll be like, "Okay."
yeah,
Now, on those rare occasions where I do travel out of state, which now with the job that I've had for the past year, it's kind of difficult for me to do it unless it's on a weekend. If I go out to Vegas, then there's certain people that I'm going to shoot with regardless
hmm
because I've shot with them the last time I went there. There
hmm
might be a couple of new people that I might shoot with because I networked with them. There's people that I've networked with and I talk to on a regular basis, but yet I haven't shot with them. You know, there's a couple like that. And then there's others that, even though I shot with them once or twice, maybe I don't want to shoot with them again.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that kind
Especially if the sales ain't hitting, you'd be like, there's no point. I've tried it once, twice. It still ain't hitting. Cool, I'm good on you.
and I gotta tell you, the clips for sale, many vids, even loyal fans, it's kind of crazy. Even Gumroad. I don't know if you have anything on Gumroad. Gumroad, supposedly, you're not supposed to have any adult content on. Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen adult content on there.
Mm.
I myself have thrown a couple things in there that were adult content and were in fighting content. I don't see anybody complaining about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, maybe this week, the new release that you put out with this particular talent is selling like hotcakes. Next week, it dies down, and all of a sudden, some video from like 3 years ago
Sells.
it's selling, and it's selling like crazy all of a sudden because people discovered that, oh, you had worked with this person, but they didn't know about it beforehand, but now they do. So now they want to buy the video.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a hit or a miss. Sometimes there's people that no matter who they are, how big of a following they have, they just ain't gonna move.
Yeah.
And I try to ask myself, why is it? Did I promote this in a way where it didn't motivate the people that are fans of this person? Or is it
The
just that
title, the
maybe it was the
description.
title, maybe the description? And my descriptions suck. I gotta tell you.
Me too, man.
I'm like,
She
why
got
do I
on top of me and then she put my dick in her mouth. Like, I'm straight to the point.
it's like, why do I gotta write a description? You obviously are seeing a little preview of the clip. You know what you came here for.
Yeah,
Why do I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
give you a description of what's going on? You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
came here for, you know? But the other downfall of using always the same people is that people get tired of seeing the same faces.
Get stagnant, yeah.
You have to bring new faces, and if you're gonna use the same person, now you're doing some other crazy shit with them, not what you typically would do with them. You know,
Right.
um,
That's why I love having multiple series because, when I first got in the industry, people will let you know. I told them I'll only shoot with you twice. After that, we ain't shooting no more. Now that I have a little bit more stuff, now I can shoot with the same people, but just put them on different things. You know what I mean? Versus having them strictly on dry bone. Like I'm now to the point where I'm reaching back out to models that I've shot with years ago to get them back on because I've changed my set, I've changed how I do stuff, I've added the extra camera, it's interviews, it's more to it now versus when they were on it. You know what I mean? So I'm bringing a whole new element. So now it's time to bring them back in. But yeah,
like
that's
I don't
what sucks for me because I try to look for new models, I try to book new models, and it's like no one either wants to work or the rate's too outrageous or whatever the fuck the case may be.
I particularly I like if something works and I have chemistry with that model and they sell, I like to bring them back. Another thing too that I'm trying to incorporate now is I like to maybe have maybe two or three of the models that have been selling well and put them together in the same video. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think that kind of works pretty well as well, depending on what I'm doing. I've been talking to CJ, Chris Jones from Chris Jones Films.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of stuff with the Muscle Goddesses too.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that I want to do a collab with him where we shoot a Muscle Goddess orgy. He needs to bring me 5 or 6 different muscle goddesses. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3 of the same ones that I've already worked with, but bring me at least 6 of them and I'll do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the video, a muscle goddess orgy.
That's dope.
You know, I'll probably be very tired after that shoot. I'll probably need some ice cubes, but I'm ready.
Have you noticed there's no creativity anymore? Like we're talking about creative things that we're thinking about outside the box. There's only so many videos I can see of someone sucking dick in a park. There's only so many videos of someone finger blasting themselves and their eyes are rolling in the back of their head and there's only so much that I fucking could take that I'm just like, it's literally copy paste repeat, and not in the good way.
You have I kind of think that one has to like at least have a little bit of a storyline. The lines are going to be cheesy. Believe me, especially if you're freestyling the lines, you're doing ad-libs, the lines are going to be super cheesy. Because believe me, I've said some dumb shit. Even for fetish, I've said some dumb shit that Sarai has yelled at me.
Yeah,
There was a video. It was supposed to be a foot video. I don't really shoot that many foot videos, but
me
people have
either.
been requesting them, and I'm like, all right, you want to see my Frodo feet? All right, you can see them. So I was working with Lady Ray X. All right. And in the whole scene, she's supposed to say that she makes money off her feet on OnlyFans, right? So she's like showing her feet. And I go, oh, yeah, you think that'll work for my Frodo feet? So Raj stops the camera. What? Do you realize we're trying to sell a video of feet? So, and you up here, I said, well, I'm sorry. You don't want us to Frodo feet.
Yeah, right.
It sold. The video sold. But it was funny because she was like, I need to put a ball gag on you. And so that way you're not talking in your videos because the things you say. And like,
Yeah.
you're right. I say some crazy ass shit. But people buy the videos because it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think that's a big thing. We have to think outside the box. We have to do when I was going to film and produce the cat fight, okay, the first concept that I thought of was a 4-way cat fight. I canceled that 4-way cat fight because there were certain things that occurred, so I canceled it. And then I came back, and now the concept was, I'm going to have the girls fight, but I'm going to have a live audience. Not only am I going to have a live audience at the cat fight, but I'm also going to stream the cat fight so that people at home that want to pay and see. And I did that. And believe it or not, this is something new that hadn't been done. You still had naysayers. Oh, why a live audience for a cat fight? Motherfucker, it's something that hasn't been done. Open up your fucking mind. Open up your mind to it. Yeah. Why should the cat fight be videotaped in somebody's living room? Why should it be in somebody's basement? Why should it be in somebody's garage where nobody knows except the people that are having the fight? No, fuck it. Let's turn it into an event type thing. Yeah. So that way people that typically wouldn't watch a cat fight, but they like female fighting, they'll be into it.
Makes sense.
I had to do a lot of advertising for that shit. And then people were complaining because, by the way, the cat fight industry is dead now.
Is it?
It's dead. And I'm going to tell you why it's dead. It's the same girls fighting continuously. The fans, they want new faces. The producers want new faces. What it takes to produce a cat fight, a lot of the fans don't realize it. $50 to sponsor the cat fight, $25 to sponsor the cat fight. That ain't enough for what we as producers have to pay the girls. Okay. I myself, I pay each girl to fight $1,000, and whoever wins, I give an extra $500. And that's without counting the fact that I got to spend on renting the place and every other thing that goes into it. Right? These guys at home, they think that $25, $50 is going to cut it. No, it's not. Yeah. So therefore, one can't be pumping out a cat fight every damn week. Every damn month. Unless you're hiring girls off the street that you tell them, yo, I'm going to give you $50. You got to brawl with this chick and we're going to video it. And if you're lucky enough to find somebody that's willing to do that, that's fine and dandy. But they're not talent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're not going to get hired by somebody else to do that. And
let me ask you this.
They want somebody that they know.
Let me ask you this. Do you get tired of the pick me girls? Anytime you put something out there, they're like, pick me. But then you be like, all right, well, follow this step. Email me or DM me. And they never do. But every time you put something else out there, like, me. And you're like,
there's a couple of them that I've had that where they'll go into my DMs and they'll tell me, hey, I want to work with you. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I ask them, well, can you do this? Can you do that? Oh, well, no, that's not really what I do well. And then I come to that dilemma where I'm like, do I hire them because it's a new face, even though they don't do what I need them to do? And when it comes to that, the only time that I'll take that chance is if they're willing to do trade. If they're willing to do trade, then I take that chance, because if the video happens to sell and we did trade, then the next time they come around, I'll be like, yo, not only will we trade, but I'm also going to pay you for a couple videos.
Yeah.
Because that way I know that they're going to sell for me.
Yeah. I get this is what I get. I know you're going to make money off of me, so this is why I charge this. And you'll be like, shit, if you knew that, why you don't sell your own videos?
And a lot of times it's, oh, you think I'm going to make, how much money do you think we make off of you guys? Do you know how much these videos sell for? And believe it or not, even when we have somebody that buys like 20 videos off our store the same day, that particular customer, fan, however you want to call them, that bought the 20 videos, they didn't buy the 20 videos because they liked the 20 videos. They bought the 20 videos because they're going to put them on the fucking tube site.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's something that they don't seem to understand either.
Yeah. They be like, I know you're going to sell off of me.
But what can you do? But what can you do? I will tell you something that is kind of sad, though. When you do have a particular talent that sells like fucking hotcakes
and quits,
and not only not that they quit so much, but that the person now has reached the level where they don't even want to fucking talk to you because of personal issues, and you want to work with them to create more content because you know that this person is talented and they're good enough to do these other things, but because they don't want to talk to you because they feel special. You can't
I do
it.
have that person. I reached out, I DM'd, I emailed. I'm like, listen, I want to work with you again. With you, nothing. But I see them on all these other fetish people sites, and I'm just like,
and here's the killer. All the new people they're working with, they ain't shit.
No, 100%.
And even though you see that they ain't going anywhere, the other people ain't selling anything, and neither is this person now, but there's nothing you can say because they don't want to talk to you.
No. And that's what makes this. Although we are adults, quote unquote, it's a lot of childish behavior. Just tell me. I'd rather someone just tell me, "Hey, heck, I don't want to work with you." Oh, okay, cool. Next, you know what I mean? Versus, and also understand some people that I've even recently worked with. It's been like 5 years in the making. Either our schedules didn't sync up, or something happened, or woo woo. When me and Marley the Booty finally worked together, she was like, "No, Tech, by the time I leave Miami, your dick will be in my mouth." I was like, "Okay. All right." Because every time we always missed each other.
How you gonna say no to that?
And I literally, it was like, I think the day before I was supposed to leave, drove over, did a little BDSM, got a POV blowjob, packed up, and was out of there.
There's been models that I've been wanting to work with, and when I finally do work with them, even though they're known for adult content, that's not what I shot with them. I shot something very tame with them. And then when I put the video out, or I put the BDS of the video without putting the video out, I'll have people say to me, "What? You didn't do naughty things with them?" No, I was very respectful. It was one of those days where I just didn't want to be a dirty whore. I wanted to be respectful. I wanted to be respectful for whatever reason. Maybe the next time, maybe I got a little shy. I can
Right.
you know.
And sometimes it's like that. You don't want to do too much. You want to do just enough. So if they do spin the block, you be like, okay, cool. We know each other. We're more familiar.
And testing, that's a whole, listen, even before doing the things that I'm doing now, I used to get tested on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the thing. We're not big companies, right? So I understand that maybe we don't want to shell out the $400 for the person to get tested. We understand that the person doesn't want to shell out the $400 to get tested. So therefore, if somebody wants to go to their doctor, use their insurance to get all the same tests done that they would have paid $400 for, I'm willing to say, okay.
Man.
But if I, as a talent, have to work for a bigger company, and the bigger company tells me that I need to have this particular testing site to test me, then okay, I'll suck it up because I have to. But as far as me as a producer, if you want to use your Aetna insurance or your Health First or your Cigna or whatever the fuck it is that you have, Medicaid, I don't give a shit. If that's what you have, and it's going to cost you nothing because you have insurance, and your doctor can do the very same panel testing, by all means, go to your doctor, bring me the paperwork. Oh, cool.
I found so many hypocrites on that. They get on social media and be like, "Yeah, you gotta have this, da, 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 da," and then they come up hot, and I'm like, if you was this strenuous with the testing, why are you on fire right now? Because that means when you got tested or from in between, you out here doing some fragrant shit.
Well, here's the thing too, right? This is why I say you don't need to pay the $400. Just go to your regular doctor. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anything that you do right now, let's say you go to the talent testing place, or you go to Clear, right? You just got tested by them. And it's Monday. All right. The scenes that you're supposed to shoot for the big company are on Thursday. You got a couple days in between. You're supposed to be celibate, but you're hanging out. You're in Vegas. You're on the strip. You meet some people. Hey, yeah, but you got tested too. Oh yeah, you got tested too. You do what you do. You might even do something, for their video store that day.
Mm-hmm.
You might hook up with them to hook up with them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who they hooked up with before you got in that bed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Thursday. The producer thinks you're clean. Maybe you're walking around with chlamydia. So what good is that whole spending the $400 when your ass wasn't celibate for those couple of days?
And they can't be. It's crazy that some people cannot refrain for a couple of days to listen. What I do, even if I've got situations, right? I tell my situation, hey, you ain't getting no dick till after I'm done. So in 2 weeks, then you could get some dick, right? They might be mad, whatever. But because now for that 2 weeks, I should only be shooting with other people that have the same mind frame as me to
Yep.
do the same shit. And I don't. That's why I don't. That's one reason why I step back from a lot of boy girl scenes, is because I could be irresponsible about my health. I can't allow someone else to be irresponsible about my health.
Exactly. Listen, even for girl shoots. Okay. And I'm gonna put, and you know what? I'm gonna say this is the same thing for boys. Okay. Boys, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, hygiene. Hygiene is very important, people.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're a guy, wash your penis, wash your balls, wash your ass. If
Yeah.
you're uncut, pull the skin back, wash it.
Yeah.
You just peed, you're about to do a scene, you're about to put your penis in somebody's mouth, wash it. Nobody wants to freaking taste piss. Okay?
Well.
Well, if it's a pissing scene, it's a different story. But if it's not, it's not. If you're
Yeah.
a female. Oh, and by the way, groom it, shave it, groom it. I understand there's some people that are into the wild kingdom now. I'm not a hunter. I'm not going on safari. I am very sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the dick is. I don't care how good the pussy is. I'm not going on safari.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's very rare that I'll be like, you got a jungle. All right. I'll be a hunter.
Yeah.
Very rare. I like it shaved. I like it groomed. Okay? Either or. But cleanliness. No, the vagina is not self-cleaning. If you took a piss and you were fucking before and you came here, guess what? Your shit is tart. Please wash it. Not only do you wash the pussy and the ass, but wash the sides, wash the clitoris as well.
Yeah.
Because if your shit is stank, your shit is tart, I will not be doing what I do.
Right.
Okay? This is very important. Very important. Because sometimes people, they forget, listen, I carry wipes everywhere. And I've always carried wipes because I like to feel fresh.
Yeah.
And I suggest that others do the same.
Yeah, I don't like, even if I listen, I had a scene. It was a threesome scene. I pulled out halfway through, jumped in the shower to get ready for my other scene. And then the first scene was like, yo, where Tech at? They're like, he in the shower. He getting ready for his other shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll go through some body wash. If I'm in the content houses, I will go through body wash. Every scene, jump in the shower. Cause I never want, it's like that school thing. I never want to be the dirty kid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to be like, yo, him.
And also, if you're in a scene where the guy came all over you, go take a shower.
Yeah.
If you can't shower, use a wipe. Wipe it up good, please. No,
Yeah.
You don't want to be somewhere else where it's like, ew, what's that sticky shit on you? If you're a guy or girl and you were going down on a girl, please wash your face.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the middle of giving somebody a hug. What the hell is that on you? I was shooting that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some shit, and not just for adult scenes. People, if you're shooting fetish, you're shooting wrestling, you're shooting face sitting, you're scissoring somebody. There's this lovely thing called loom. Okay, you put this on the sides, okay, because guess what? People do get garlic smell on the sides and onion smell, and there's nothing worse than somebody scissoring you, and you feel like you're dying, not from the scissoring, but from the garlic smell coming from their body. Also, your butt gets sweaty. You could put the loom on there.
Yeah,
we're doing a face sitting scene. I don't need to smell like you about to shit on me because you already shitted and didn't wipe yourself. Not naming names.
So I'm saying this has happened.
Oh yeah.
I went down on some girls. I'm like, okay, a little pungent. That's why I don't do that a whole lot either.
I'm gonna tell you, in real life, not in industry life, there's been situations where I was like, excuse me, did you come proper? Did you clean it?
Yeah.
No, go clean it, please.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough that in industry life, okay, when it's come to the girl scenes, everybody's been super clean. I even had somebody that told me I handed them wipes, saying, in case you need to refresh yourself before we, and this was for a performance. This wasn't for a clip. This was that I was performing at a party.
Mm-hmm.
And, the performance of the party was me going down on this particular muscle girl. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, here's the wipes, in case you need to refresh yourself before I scene. And she turned to me, she said, I've been ready for you all day. I've been cleaning it all day. I was like, hello.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Yeah. That I like to hear. Because then I'll go all the way out to do what I got to do. All right? But there's been times where I've had to wrestle with somebody. There's been times where I was a jobber, the person just had to face at me. And I was like, oh, dear God.
that initial intake. Yeah.
And if, once again, you can tell what's going through my mind by looking at my face. Yeah. So if you're one of the people that bought this particular clip,
you see it.
And you see it. No, it's not that I'm about to die because I'm getting face at. It's because I'm about to die because the person is pungent as all fuck. But there's people that are into that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
Like, yo, come proper to me while we're shooting. Yeah. I don't care if you're wearing so much perfume that you smell like a French hooker. That's better than you smelling like garlic and ass and dirty pussy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right, Lady O, go ahead and tell them what projects you got going on, where they could find you at, all that.
I'm all over the place, okay? If you're going to go to, I'm all over the place. Right now, the two biggest ones that I'm working on is I'm trying to put together the Muscle Girl orgy, right? And that I'm trying to work on that with CJ, all right? Chris Jones Films. And I'm also, just today, I was speaking to Hans Vanderkill because there was a conversation I had with a couple people, and I said to myself, how about sex wrestling, but Jello sex wrestling?
Jello? Huh. Okay.
So you're wrestling in Jello, but it's sex wrestling.
Yeah.
The wild concept is different.
You got to get no sugar base.
Well, I figured we could get that fake Jello thing that people have been using. That kind of looks like quicksand.
Yeah.
It's not going to taste very good, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. No, 100%. And so with that,
if you're gonna go to my Clips for Sale store, www.ladyoproductions.com, And from there, you can see everything else. If you go on my Twitter, it's Lady_Oyanka, Oyanka. Same thing for IG, Instagram. And from there, you'll see the link for the link tree, which leads you to everything. Everything. And it'll lead you also to something that's called Give Me, which is similar to Linktree. And it'll give you everything. It'll give you the Facebook, which I rarely go on because I get tossed out of Facebook every week.
Yeah.
Facebook jail. That's the way that goes.
Yeah. All right. It was definitely a pleasure. This has been a long time coming.
It was
With
and
that,
by the way, I
yes.
have to say that when I went to Exotica, I met a male dom and his lovely wife,
Okay.
Lorenzo and Casey. And
Yes.
they showed me some pictures that you took of them, which I was like, wow. I was, because I've seen some of your work, but this was really hot shit.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was really hot shit.
yeah.
And I had to mention it because I was like, whoa.
I've lost my I lost tr- I've lost my passion for it. I really have because everyone now has their phone and this and that and all the AI and all the filters and all the this and another. And so me, I like to take pictures and I'll edit you, but I want it more naturally so it still looks like you. And I'm realizing this new era don't want to look like themselves at all.
They don't. They want to look like somebody totally different. And when they show up on the set, you're like,
Who the fuck are you?
or even when you see them in person at these events, you're like,
Right.
who
Oh,
did
that was you I walked by. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I'm definitely I will be doing some still. I'm just here and there just to keep my, skills sharp, but I've lost a passion for it. I really have.
But I can understand that because there was, like I told you, there was a time where I was a photographer. My main niche was jewelry photography because I was working on, in the Diamond District here on
Yeah.
47th Street. And my job was to pretty much take picture of the jewelry and put it on people's website. And then on the side, I would do a lot of, like headshots for people, pet pictures, pictures of like events, pictures of like scenery.
Yeah.
And after a while, you do lose your passion for taking pictures of things, you kind of just like, ah. So now any picture taking I do is an action shot of a clip if I get the chance to do it or afterwards.
Mhm.
Today, I sent you the picture that I
I
took,
saw it.
and I took the picture. I was like, wow. Like for a brief second there, I
You
kind of
got it back.
I had that feeling of, yo, I should take some more pictures of the things around this town because they're beautiful. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck that shit. I ain't spending money on no goddamn
Yeah.
camera.
I've lost so much money on models not showing up, this and the third, or models being like, well, can you take this? You're not even a real model. Like, you being super critical for no reason. I'm good. I'm good. And then
I think
also the actual models now, if your rate is what I could get a blowjob or hand job for, pictures, hand job, blowjob, pictures. I'm gonna go with the hand job, blowjob.
you could
Sorry.
do pictures too at the same time.
Oh, with my camera, I can. 100%. 100%. That's what I do a lot of my stills for dry bone is I'm filming while taking the stills. Um, so yeah, but this is another wonderful whatever by Hectic, the show about whatever, where we just talk about a lot of different shit, and
Talk about whatever.
I loved having this. Like, we could have kept going on, but I only have a 2 hour show. But I'm gonna definitely have you back on. It's gonna be a great time. You can find me on. You can Google me, Hectic Desires on everything. Yeah.
That's what sometimes I'm afraid of, because I know that people at work at my regular job, I know they have Googled me, and I could tell by the little smiles as they're talking to me. I
Yeah.
know my neighbor downstairs, she followed me the other day on Facebook, and I know she's seen everything else. And I gotta laugh. I'm like,
Nah, it be like that sometimes. All right. So good night. Say bye to the fans.
goodbye, my naughty and sinful people.